This morning, when I was on the bus, I saw a crow. Without pause, without even thinking about it, I thought, there's Sheryl. Like I was expecting to see her or something. Oh. It stopped. So, today, I decided on my way back from work to listen to my iPod, which I hadn't done in a really long time. Like a really, really long time. It makes the commute a lot more fun and a lot more relaxed. I feel like it's calmer if you're listening to music than if you're not listening to music on the train, because if you're not listening to music, then you're just kind of getting aggravated with like the crowds and annoying people around you or whatever. But if you're listening to music, you can escape it for a little while and enjoy some pleasant tunes that you like. Exact opposite of the talking about mass transit and how much I like it, but I do like it. It's just, sometimes it's nice to have a little musical interlude. Okay, I have to tell you a story. Are you sitting down? I used to have the John Entwistle songs on my computer back when I had another computer, and then that computer died. It got a virus, and I like lost everything that was on it, including the John Entwistle songs that I paid for on iTunes. But this was in 2007 that I was listening to these John Entwistle songs constantly. It reminds me of all the things that were going on in my life in 2007. Some fun things, some not so fun things. I lost the John Entwistle songs, and I was really upset because suddenly, like, these songs that had meant so much to me, I couldn't listen to. Obviously I could have paid for them all again, but it was 2 albums worth of songs. So that would have been a lot. Not that long ago, I went in my iTunes and I realized, this is like a commercial for iTunes, they did something new where you, in the cloud or whatever, you have all your songs there, and they're like, you don't have them on your computer, but they're streaming from the thing because you downloaded them. You have like that privilege. So I got the John Entwistle songs back, and I downloaded them back onto my computer from that. And so I listened to John Entwistle today, and I was just like, oh my god, this is making me think of when I was in college. I was a sophomore in college when I was big into John Entwistle. I would listen to those songs when I went to and from class, and I remember it was like just him, and I would just play the same 2 albums constantly. And it gave me a kind of peace as I like was going around campus or whatever. I was very serene and very happy when I listened to him, so it's really nice to have him back. And I was listening to him on my way back, and I was just like, oh, I was back in that serene space where I just let the lyrics and the bass lines lead me back. The power of music to remind you of places and things that you have been through. I was also, as I was thinking about that and how some things in 2007 were not so great, I realized that at the time it seemed like I was going to be stuck there in the state of like angsty worrying and not fitting in and feeling all sorts of like really bad things. And I was worried that it was going to be like that forever, and I was just like, oh, this is terrible, I'm going to be stuck, and it's going to be, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then it made me think about how when I graduated and I lived with my sister, there were times when I would get super frustrated and feel stuck and be like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I need to get out of here. I'm never going to get out of here. I'm never going to be able to do what I want to do. And I'm going to be alone forever and all these horrible things. And then 2 years later, everything's different. Everything changes. And now I'm in a place where I'm just like, I don't know. Today I was thinking about how it's like, you know, at the time when things are getting you down and you're worried about stuff and you feel like it's never going to get better, you're not really thinking clearly because you obviously can't see ahead into the future. But if you think about it, if you think back on the way that you felt, like if you think back on the time when you felt like this before, things worked out really well. Things worked out in ways you could never have predicted. So why spend time thinking like that? Why worry so much? And so it made me feel better, and it's all thanks to John Entwistle. So yes, that's my little moment of zen or whatever for you for the day. Listen to some music that you remember from a few years ago that you haven't listened to in a really long time. That's my homework for you. That's right, I get to assign homework now. Listen to some of the music that makes you feel happy and reminds you of times that you want to relive / have solace over. That was awkwardly worded.